Beloved soul, brave heart of light, gather close. And let us speak of ancient things. Let us speak of stories etched into the soul of the world, and how those stories are, in truth, the story of you. You have heard the tale: a young shepherd, a sling, a single stone, and a towering giant, a mountain of a man, brought down by the quiet, unshakable power of faith. David and Goliath, an epic, almost mythical confrontation that has become, for ages, a symbol of courage, of impossible triumph, of the small overcoming the great against all odds. But what if I told you, dear one, that Goliath's death, that singular moment of victory, was just the beginning, the opening chapter of something far greater, far more intricate, and, for the soul's journey, far more profound. Today, we draw back the heavy curtain of common narrative, not to instill fear, but to awaken wisdom. We investigate what many overlook, what is often kept hidden between the lines of Scripture, and between the lines of your own life story. Everyone knows Goliath, the towering champion from Gath. But few realize that he was not alone. He was not an isolated event. He belonged to a lineage, a bloodline of shadows. Yes, Goliath had brothers, and their stories are fragmented, buried, scattered, like pieces of an ancient sacred puzzle. Who were these other giants? Where did they come from? And why does their existence matter so deeply to you, right here, right now, in your own life? In this sacred time together, we will dive deep into this little explored territory of the soul. We will trace the origins of these giants, follow the faint, powerful echoes of their forgotten names, and understand the challenges they represent on your own heroic journey. What you are about to uncover, what you are about to recognize within yourself, may forever change the way you see your own struggles, your own victories, and the incredible strength you carry. So, if this kind of deep knowing stirs something within you, if it resonates with the curiosity that drives all true seekers, then open your heart fully to this message. For with every revelation, a new veil is lifted from your eyes, and this journey, your journey, is just beginning. Prepare to enter the shadows of your own history, to understand the giants you have already faced, and to meet, with courage and with light, the brothers who await. Long before the stories were written in books, they were etched in the energy of the earth. Chronicles of light and shadow, of battles fought, not just on dusty plains, but in the landscapes of the human heart. One such account, often shrouded and simplified, involves not just the giant Goliath, but the unsettling truth of his bloodline. Goliath, as you know, was slain. A victory for the light. A testament to the power of faith over fear. But what pulpits and simple stories often omit is that Goliath was no isolated phenomenon. He was a symptom, not the entire disease. He was one head of a hydra. He was part of an ancient, powerful race, one of several towering brothers, descended from a bloodline that traces back to the Rephaim, the Anakim, the so-called giants of your holy texts. These beings were not merely large men, they were metaphors, made manifest, for the colossal fears, the ancestral traumas, the towering doubts that can stand before a soul and block its divine path. And when you've, in your own life, stood up to your Goliath, when you faced that monumental fear, that paralyzing obstacle, you did not seal a simple happy ending. You ignited a war of purification. You declared to the universe that you were ready to reclaim your power, and in doing so, you called forth the rest of the shadows that were hiding behind that first great giant. Goliath's brothers represent the secondary challenges, the lingering doubts, the subtle fears that emerge after you've won a major victory. They are the remnants of an old consciousness, the last gasps of a reality you are leaving behind, and facing them requires a different kind of strength, a deeper wisdom. Think back. Beloved, think of the greatest challenge you have ever overcome, your personal Goliath. It may have been a devastating loss, a crippling addiction, a paralyzing fear, an abusive relationship, a profound betrayal, a giant that stood before you and darkened your sky. Remember the moment you decided to face it. You were David in that moment. Perhaps you felt small, outmatched, terrified. Your only weapons were a sling of hope, a stone of pure intention, and a flicker of faith that you were not alone, and you took your stand. And the giant fell. The world may have seen it. Or it may have been a quiet, private battle no one knew of, but heaven saw. The entire cosmos held its breath as you stood your ground, and when your giant fell, the universe rejoiced, but the story, your story, did not end there. For after the roar of victory fades, a new silence descends, and in that silence, you may have heard a new stirring. The footsteps of the brothers, let us speak of them, for in naming them, you reclaim your power over them. The scriptures name Lamech, the brother of Goliath. His spear was like a weaver's beam. Think of this, beloved. After your great victory, have you not met this brother? Lamech is the giant of complication. He is the tangled mess that remains. His weapon is a weaver's beam because he represents the intricate knots of consequence, the tangled threads of your past, the messy, complicated work of cleaning up the battlefield, defeating Goliath was a single, powerful act. Dealing with Lamech is the patient, daily work of untangling the threads, weaving a new story. Mending what was torn, it is not a glorious battle, but a quiet, steady act of repair. Many souls defeat their Goliath, only to be exhausted and ensnared by the weaver's beam of his brother Lamech. Recognize him. See his work for what it is. It does not require a single stone of power, but the patient hands of a loving weaver, and you are that weaver. The holy texts speak of another giant, another brother, named Isbi-Benob. He confronted David in battle, long after Goliath was gone, and David the great king, the giant slayer, grew faint. He grew tired. He was close to being struck down. This giant, Ishbabab, represents the brother of exhaustion. He is the challenge that comes when you are depleted. He is the wave of burnout that hits you after a long, hard fight. He is the voice that whispers, "You are too tired to keep going. You have no strength left." He attacks when your reserves are low, when the adrenaline of the first victory has faded. He hopes to find you weary and finish you off. Have you met this giant, beloved? Have you felt that profound spiritual exhaustion, that soul-deep weariness that makes you question if you can take another step? But look at the story. David did not face him alone. One of his mighty warriors, Abishai, stepped in, protected the king, and struck the giant down. This is a profound truth for you. When the giant of exhaustion comes for you, you are not meant to fight it with your own depleted strength. This is when you must learn to receive, to allow help to come. Help from the divine, from your angels, from a friend, a therapist, a community. Abishai represents the grace that steps in when you can no longer stand on your own. Learning to let this grace in is the key to defeating this second brother. It is a lesson in humility and interdependence. After that battle, David's men came to him and said, "You shall no longer go out with us to battle, lest you quench the lamp of Israel." The lamp of Israel. What a beautiful phrase, for your own precious light, your soul's essence. After you have faced your Goliath, and been rescued from the brother of exhaustion, you must learn this critical lesson. Your light is too precious to be risked in every single skirmish. You, dear one, are the king or queen of your own inner kingdom. You are the guiding light. You are not meant to be on the front lines of every single battle anymore. You have proven your courage. You have won the great war. Now, you must learn to lead from a place of wisdom, to protect your energy, your lamp, to send your mighty warriors, your healthy boundaries, your wise choices, your intuition, to handle the smaller skirmishes. You must not let your entire being be thrown into every minor conflict. Your peace, your light, is the most valuable treasure you possess. Protect it fiercely. This is the wisdom that comes after the battle is won. The scriptures mention another brother, named Seph or Sippai. He was also of the descendants of the giant. Seph represents the brother of doubt, the lingering whisper that your first victory was a fluke. He is the voice that says, "You got lucky once. You can't do it again." That giant fell, but you are still small. You are still weak. the next giant will surely defeat you. He is a giant of insidious whispers, of psychological warfare. He rises from the mists of your own insecurity, challenging the reality of your own strength, to defeat Seth. You do not need a sling or a stone. You need memory. You need remembrance. You must remember the feeling of your faith in that first battle. You must reconnect with the power that flowed through you. You must stand on the truth of what you have already done. You defeat the giant of doubts by honoring the reality of your past victories, by writing them on your heart, by refusing to allow the shadow of doubt to erase the history of your own courage. And there was another, an unnamed giant of great stature, who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number. This brother is perhaps the strangest of all. He represents the giant of deformity, the fear of the abnormal, the misshapen. He is the embodiment of all the ways you feel wrong or broken, or not like others. He is the fear that your wounds, your traumas, have made you a monster, something strange and unlovable. His extra digits symbolize the ways you don't fit into the normal template of humanity. He is the giant of shame. This giant taunts you with your own perceived flaws. He points out your scars, your quirks, your unique sensitivities, and calls them monstrous. But this giant, too, was slain by one of David's mighty men. Jonathan, you defeat this giant of shame by allowing the light of love and acceptance to touch your deepest wounds, by understanding that your unique deformities, your sensitivities, your scars, your extra digits, are not signs of your brokenness, but marks of your unique journey, and often the source of your greatest gifts. Your deepest wound can become your most sacred medicine. It takes a Jonathan, a friend of the soul, whether human or divine, to look upon your strangeness and call it beautiful, and that Jonathan must ultimately be you, speaking to yourself with the voice of divine love. These brothers, beloved Lummi, Ishbi Banob, the giant of shame. They are the hidden curriculum after you pass the first great test. They are the cleanup crew of your soul's battlefield, and they trace their lineage back even further to the ancient races of giants, the Rephaim and the Anakim. What do these ancient names mean for you? The spies sent into the promised land returned, saying they saw the sons of Anak there, and that we seemed like grasshoppers in our own sight. The Anakim represent the ancestral fears, the inherited, limiting beliefs that make you feel small, are the voices of your ancestors' traumas, the cultural programming, the generational chains that whisper, who are you to claim your promised land? Who are you to be happy, to be free, to be powerful? We were not, so you cannot be. They are the giants that have lived in your bloodline for centuries, making you feel like a grasshopper in the face of your own magnificent destiny. When you faced your Goliath, you began the sacred work of clearing not just your own fear, but the fear of your entire lineage. You are a spiritual pioneer, claiming new ground for your soul, and for all those who came before you, and all who will come after. This is holy, sacred work. The Rephaim, another race of giants, their name can be translated as mighty men, but also as the shades, or the dead. These giants represent the ghosts of your past, the heavy energies of unresolved traumas, the shades of old failures, of old heartbreaks, that can rise up and seem immense, powerful, and unbeatable. They are the giants who are already dead, but who haunt the present with their memory. King Og of Bashan was one of these. His bed was made of iron, a massive object. This represents the immense space, the heavy, unyielding presence that old trauma can take up in our lives. It can feel like a solid iron fact of our reality, but they are shades, beloved. They have no true power over you now. Their power is in illusion, in memory, in shadow. You defeat them by turning on the light of the present moment, by recognizing that they are ghosts. And you are the living soul, infused with the power of the divine, right here, right now. You do not need to fight them. You need to outshine them. With your love, with your joy, with your presence. And it is said that after the great wars, the surviving giants fled. They scattered across the earth, to neighboring regions, to distant lands. This is why so many cultures, all over your world, have myths and legends of giants. From the Americas to Europe, from Africa to Asia. This is a global phenomenon, and this too holds a deep truth for you. It means you are not alone in this fight. The journey of facing inner giant, a universal human experience. Every soul, in its own way, must confront the Goliaths and their brothers. Every culture has stories of this struggle. You are part of a global cosmic awakening. A wave of souls rising up to reclaim their power from the giants of fear. Your personal battle is part of this magnificent collective shift. Your courage sends ripples across the entire web of consciousness. So when the brothers appear in your life, after your great victory, do not despair. Do not think you have failed. Do not believe you are back at square one. It is not a regression, it is a deepening. It is the next level of your sacred initiation. See them for what they are, name them. Ah, there you are, Lami, brother of complication. I see the threads you wish to tangle. I will be patient. Hello, Ishbabonab, brother of exhaustion. I see you have come because I am weary. I will not fight you. I will rest. I will receive. I recognize you, Seth, brother of doubt. Your whispers have no power here. I remember my strength, and you, brother of shame, with your strange shape. I will no longer hide from you. I will love you until you become beautiful. This is the path of the spiritual warrior. Not just the one who slays the one great giant, but the one who has the wisdom, the patience, and the self-leveto deal with all the shadows that were hiding behind him. This is how you truly conquer the land. This is how you claim your divine inheritance. This is how you make your inner kingdom a safe, peaceful, and light-filled home for your magnificent soul. You are the hero of this story. You are David. You are Abishai. You are Jonathan. You are the king who must protect his light. You have everything you need within you to face every giant known and unknown. Trust in the power that brought the first one down. It has not left you. It has grown stronger, and we, your angels, walk with you every step of this sacred, heroic journey. You are never, ever alone.